Hello Mechwarriors, how is it going? Welcome to your daily dose of Mechwarrior Online. If you like fire support builds, then this Huntsman is the best mech for you, I would say. Or one of the best mechs for you, because it is so amazing. I absolutely underestimated the power of a Huntsman, especially in this build here today. As you can see, we got an autocannon and some laser weapons. And what we want to do is we want to shoot at mid-range. And yeah, this is exactly what we do. We got an Ultra Autocannon 10, which deals like 10 damage, of course, and we have the ability to double tap that, and as soon as the autocannon jams, we still have 4 medium lasers. So the build is perfect at about 500 meters, round about like 460 or so, and yeah, you should keep your distance. You are a 50-ton mech, you have a lot of mobility, you have relatively high mounts, and this build plays perfect if you have some teammates around and if you can just amplify the damage on the targets that the brawlers are choosing. So this is a very nice support build. It can brawl to some extent, but you really shouldn't. I'm having 3 tons of ammo for the autocannon. 3 tons is kind of on the edge. I usually take a bit more, but we have access to skills now, and therefore we can take the magazine capacity. Also, the rest is kind of, yeah, double heat sinks, because the build is a bit toasty when you don't apply the heat sinks. And I got a targeting computer Mark 1 because a Mark 1 helps in most of the situation. It helps a bit with beam range, it helps a bit with velocity, and it gives a bit of a critical hit chance bonus. And most importantly, you get the targeting time boost. So you want to target weak spots and you want to get intel on the enemies quick, and therefore the targeting computer is a really nice addition to the build here. Yeah, and that's basically the build. The skills look like this. I invest a lot into the firepower tree here because I want to stay at range anyway. I don't want to get hit anyway, and therefore I don't need that much survivability and mobility, and therefore, yeah, I have a lot of skills that I can invest into the firepower. As you can see, I got a lot of range here, and I tilted my build a bit towards cooldown and heat gen. As you can see, I'm going down the cooldown here. I have the cooldown down here and on the right side. Also, as I told you before, I wanted to have magazine capacity, therefore I needed to go down this side here. And yeah, again, the rest is laser duration and heat generation. And yeah, I skipped survivability completely because I don't want to get hit anyway. As I said before, I want to be in the second line. I took speed tweak. Kind of an auto include in all of my builds here, and anchor turn. I don't need torso speed that much because the torso speed of the Huntsman is very good already, therefore not really needed. And I took a bit of additional heat management with the cool run skills here. I got a reasonable amount of double heat sinks, and why not bump the efficiency up with the cool run skills on top of that. Also, I'm taking radar deprivation, 60% of that, and another consumable slot here. And yeah, that's the build. I wish you all a lot of fun in the 2 games that are coming, and if you have that, don't forget to leave a rating or subscribe to the channel. And now it's time to hit the battlefield. Alright, first game of the day, we are playing Domination on the Frozen City, and I'm setting up in Fox 7, Echo 7 area because I am a fire support and I want to shoot from the high ground, and this is exactly what I'm doing here. So we go ahead and we set up here in the city because we've got cover here and we have a good amount of range here. So our optimal range, or optimal fighting range, would be around 460 meter, maybe 500, because then we'll deal optimal damage. Problem that I'm having right now is that my autocannon jammed and I couldn't fire that one anymore. That of course has the longer range, and it would be optimal if it would, yeah, if it wouldn't jam at all. But this is how autocannons or ultra autocannons work. If you want to double tap, you have the risk of jamming. I see a lot of people down there. I don't exactly know why all the enemies went down there, because you only need one mech in the circle to deny to the enemy, or to actually start a countdown. You don't need everybody there, and this spot down there, it is not a good place to be, especially if the enemy, I mean our team, has the high ground, because we can just shoot them, we can take them into crossfire, we can maneuver very easily, and they are kind of pinned down around the ship. They don't have much space to fight and they don't have much cover down there, and yeah, we are going into an overwatch position, and we do a lot of support and suppressive fire, and if anybody peeks, it gets shot by our medium lasers and the autocannons. I am very aware that I'm not in optimal range here, but I don't want to give up my position yet. So this is a very good spot. I've got a lot of cover here, and I can pretty much pick my targets freely. I see that the Panther has a PPC and SRMs, and I really wanted to get off his arm. I didn't get it though. And therefore I'm repositioning myself because I see that the enemy is kind of applying a bit of pressure to the right side here. So they are peeking a lot to my direction and they want to break out of their situation here. But at this point we applied so much damage already that they couldn't pull it off. It was just not possible. And yeah, if you are playing a fire support like I do here, just get yourself a good high ground position when the enemy is in the center of the map, and then just shoot everything you have over and over again. It not only pins the enemy down, it also deals a lot of damage over time. And yeah, they couldn't do anything here, so they couldn't reposition and they couldn't get out of the spot, and as a result we got some good kills on them, and when we finally decided to push in on them to apply even more pressure. Now we got a linebacker over there which has PPCs, which is kind of scary because he has a lot of low face time, high burst damage there, and I didn't want to put up with him really. Instead I'm going over to that assault mech, because assault mechs are relatively easy to target because they are big and slow, and therefore I want to shoot some of my autocannon shells towards his direction to get some of his components off. And this is exactly what I do. Now I see that he is focusing me as his target, and therefore I try to break line of sight, I try to get back to cover and have somebody else to be his priority. The problem is there that we got another dire wolf, and as soon as I see that he sees me, I try to break line of sight to him as well. So what you want to do with this is use your high mounts, use your range, and try to not expose your whole mech to the enemy. So I try to stay in low ground and I try to go for a jump shot here just to have as limited face time as possible. The good thing is that we got some light mechs around that are kind of harassing that direwolf now, so he is turning and twisting and tries to get some damage to the enemy, but we are just going to squirrel him and run around him like crazy. And we apply a lot of damage to his rear torso, and he's getting shot down by our combined effort here. That was a very easy takedown against an assault mech, so if you end up in such a situation where you are in the open as an assault mech and you're getting squirreled by light mechs, then you are basically dead. You can't do anything there. And me as a support mech, I just stay at range and I just take the shots of opportunity and take a value out of the situation that my light mechs are creating. And I try, of course, to destroy the enemy as fast as possible and try to help them out. And yeah, that's basically your takeaway for today. Just make use of your range, don't expose yourself too much, and focus to fire on the enemies that are an immediate threat to your teammates. So that kill on the direwolf or the kill to the marauder to see earlier, it was kind of important. Now we only have one enemy around, which is a Nova, if I remember correctly. And yeah, there it is. We just go in. Everybody wants that kill. Everybody wants to get line of sight, and so do I. Therefore, I'm getting up to this position. I'm taking another jump shot here. I want to get a bit of damage on him. And yeah, we are just bullying him now, trying to get as much damage to him to get the kill. I'm very lucky that I got it here. But it would be nice if, or it would be okay if everybody else got it as well. So yeah, it was a bit stompy, but it was an interesting game on my end, I would say. I had a lot of opportunities here, I got a lot of open fire, and we managed to kill the enemy relatively easy. Let's have a look at the end score before we go over to the next one. 1028 damage here, got 2 kills, 8 assists, 3 kill most damage dealt, and 8 components destroyed. It was a very solid round, and yeah, we are going over to the next one right now. Alright, second game of the day. We are playing Skirmish on the Mining Collective. And what I like to do on Mining Collective is always pushing ahead to the first ramp and then shoot the assault mechs that are falling behind. So especially in mediums or maybe faster heavy mechs, you can do that. You can apply a lot of early damage if you just go ahead to Delta 4 area and shoot into Echo 4. Or if you go into Echo 5 area and shoot into Delta 5, depending on which side you start. And what I'm doing here is, I want to commit to that kill, because I saw that we had some serious damage applied to the assault mechs already, and I saw that Kodiak there, which I wanted to bring down. And this is going to end up in a kind of brawlish situation here. I popped my cool shot already, and yeah, I want to just commit to that Kodiak, because a dead Kodiak is a good Kodiak. And this is what I say all the time. If you see an already damaged enemy, if you see a damaged target, commit to the kill. Take him out of the equation so that he can't deal damage later on. So if he would have gotten back to second line, Kodiak is of course still a big threat here. And yeah, we just taken him out, and he couldn't deal any damage anymore. The Zeus here is kind of our next target. We deal a lot of damage with the autocannons and the lasers, and as soon as he wants to target me, I'm jumping back to my piece of cover here. So I'm making great use of my jump jets and my high mounts, and yeah, we are just applying so much pressure to the enemies so that they at some point, they just needed to retreat and they couldn't do anything anymore. That Aki cheater here that was in our back, he got destroyed by missiles, which I'm very glad because I didn't see him. I actually did not see him coming, and yeah, with him down we can just apply the pressure to the front line now. The Blackjack tries to turn around, but he has nowhere to run, and I see that the Timolf is centered, and therefore I try to align another shot here, got the kill as well, and now it's time to turn around because the enemy pushed behind us. Which is actually not a big problem because we already have 6 kills, and now it's just a matter of how to deal with them. Of course, you don't want to let the enemy come back, and therefore it is very important to apply a lot of pressure on the enemy teammates. Like the Griffin here, so I try to pin him down. I'm in my Overwatch position, I took the high ground, and I constantly push him back to his piece of cover so that he can't regroup. I apply so much damage to his center torso there, and at this point he tries to go for a dash forward, he tries to do something because he sees that what he's trying to do did not work, and therefore he pushes into our whole firing line here. He's fighting like a lion, which I highly appreciate. So this desperate measure that he puts out there, it actually dealt some damage, but in the end he wasn't sturdy enough, and he was alone and he couldn't get any kill out of that. So poor Griffin getting shot down. The problem that I'm having here is that I have both of my side torsos open, and in a different situation I would have played it much safer. I wouldn't have exposed myself so much to the high ground here, and as you can see, I got punished for that. I got my side torso blown off by that guy, and now my medium lasers are done. I only have my autocannon that kind of jams all the time, and yeah, it's not a reliable weapon anymore, so I can still jump up, deal a bit of damage to that crab there. But again, we are in a very comfortable situation. We have 10 kills already, 11 now, and yeah, it's not a big deal that I lost my side torso. Again, if we were behind, I would have used cover of the buildings, and I tried to figure out where the enemy is before I expose myself to that stupid spot there. Anyway, we got a Bushwhacker, which is the last enemy, and everybody tries to get in to get the kill here. So side torso is already open, and I tried to get another shot on him as well, so the assist is secured, but I kind of screwed up my jump, and I couldn't get more damage out to him. But it's not a problem, because we won the game. It was a fun game. It was kind of brawly in the first phase, and later on I transitioned to the fire support again, and in the end we won it. 661 damage, got 3 kills, 6 assists, and 2 kill most damage dealt out of that. And yeah, that's your daily dose for today. If you liked it, don't forget to leave a rating or subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you want to support me, go down below to the description. There is the link to my Patreon page. There you can support me with a bit of money and keep me going. And I hope to see you on the battlefield, everybody. Goodbye.